Hey YouTube, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Roman, and listen, it's a lot of stuff going on. It is a lot going on. But before we begin, if you are not a subscriber of the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel, and let's get right into it. So, a father of four has been charged with murder after allegedly decapitating his teenage daughter and 12-year-old son and abusing the two other boys. So Maurice Taylor Sr., he's 34. He faces 2 felony counts, each of murder and child abuse. So let's get into what happened here. So Maurice Taylor, he is a fitness trainer for physical therapy. So he's been doing this for years and years. And so he has a lot of clients who's familiar with him, used to him being on time and reliable. And with the pandemic, he's still been able to carry his workload as being a fitness trainer by doing his sessions on Zoom. And so, for months, he would schedule his time with his trainers, and then he would send them their Zoom link. And so days and weeks leading up to him murdering his children, he was not showing up. He didn't send Zoom links. And so some of the people, 2 people actually called the police. One called the police because he thought it was a gas leak at the house. He was in the neighborhood. So typically he would probably do fitness training sessions with Maurice, but he wasn't able to do so because of the pandemic. So he was in the neighborhood. He went by the home and he thought it was a gas leak. So he called the police for a gas leak. The police come and make the gruesome discovery of finding 2 dead bodies and 2 children. So the 2 dead bodies, they were the bodies of 12-year-old Maurice and 13-year-old Maliaka. Now, mind you, the mother lives in the home too, and nothing has been released on the mother. So the father, Maurice Taylor, he actually stabbed and fatally stabbed, chopped up, decapitated both the oldest daughter, Maliaka, who was 13, and the son, Maurice, who was 12, on November 29th. And that was actually 5 days before the police was called to the house, which before everything was reported. But the most gruesome thing about this is that he had the other 2 boys, 8 and 9, he had them watch and go and see his sister and brother, their sister and brothers decapitated. Like, they literally, he had them see that, which is going to cause trauma for the rest of their lives, which is why charges of child abuse was also brought into the picture for him. The 2 boys had to stay in their room during this period of time. They had to stay in their room with no food or anything at all. And they had just, basically, if it wasn't for the police coming, they probably would have been next, or they probably would have starved to death. So they've set up a GoFundMe to raise money for the family. He is set to be arraigned on December 21st. They had set his original bail at $1.2 million, but then they increased it to $4.2 million, and they want him to be held in jail until his arraignment. He faces 57 years to life in prison. And the thing about this is that, the motive, what is the motive? I would be very curious to know what's the motive behind this, because for the mother to have been in the house and not have said anything for over these 5 days, I feel like she was aiding and abetting. She should be charged as well. I don't know what is the mystery around the mom, but everything that I've read, I haven't read anything that has any credible information regarding the mother. Community said that they known the kids to be joyful. They known them since they were born, and that they were highly celebrated each time they were born. And then there were some community members who said that they didn't even know they had 4 kids. They thought they only had 2 kids because they keep the house so blacked out, and they never really saw people coming out. So it was a lot of different conflicting reports about what the community saw out of this home. Some of it was like they were happy, joyful, and then some was they were very to themselves, and you really didn't see a lot of the kids. And it's quite clear that the father is sick. There's some strange motive here. We don't know. But what I do know is that a lot of the reports, especially in this part of Southern California, says that because of the pandemic, there's been a very, very high increase in domestic violence and domestic related issues. And a lot of people might be struggling with, financially taking care of their families, or dealing with other issues that, normally would not bubble to the surface, but because of a pandemic and all of the lockdown restrictions, they're bubbling to the surface. So I do want to take into account that, he may have had financial pressures or struggles on him. He couldn't feed the kids. Who knows? It's still not, this is still not a way to solve that problem. You actually create a bigger problem for yourself. And believe it or not, you're going to live in misery for the rest of your life, for taking the lives of your two kids. And the two boys who are alive, who had to witness this, they're going to be in so much trauma, and they're going to need counseling for the rest of their lives to deal with that, to deal with the loss of those two, but also the loss of their father. And they need to lose their mother, the loss of their mother. I feel like, if she allowed, and there's only so much you can do, but people have to be responsible. There should have been, somebody should have been notifying the police a lot sooner than 5 days, and it shouldn't have taken like a third party, his clients, to do so. Yeah, so drop down in the comments and let me know what you thought. How do you feel about the mom and what's her involvement? And do you think that the kids are going to face a lot of trauma in their lives moving forward? And 57 years to life, I'm right along with that. I'd cut the 57 years, just give them life. Do you feel like that's a good enough sentence for them? And until next time, folks, deuces.